Prisoner is secure. All clear for the drop. Repeat, subject is secure, ready for extraction point of delivery. Welcome to paradise, sweetheart. End of the line for you. Prisoner offload confirmed. Let's punch it before we get lit up out here.
My head. Where am I? What the hell is going on? Island. What is this place? Okay. Stay calm. One step at a time. Here! A dark-skinned arm reached out from a dilapidated shack, beckoning me. Inside, I met the woman who had signaled. She was about 5'7" with a noticeable scar on her right arm and medium-length black hair pulled back into a ponytail. Her tan skin suggested she had been here for some time. She wore dark glasses with a broken left lens and sported a makeshift knife holster wrapped around her right leg, visible beneath her black shorts. Her face had oval features, defined by prominent cheekbones, a fine jawline, and full lips. Who are you?
Right now, your best chance at surviving. Damn it!
Care to tell me what's going on? And where I am?
Look, if we make it out of this alive, I promise you I will explain everything. But that's only in due time. Okay? Do you remember your name?
My name? That was a good question. My mind raced, but drew only blanks. At that moment, I couldn't remember anything.
Another one of those, huh? All right, if we make it out of this, I promise I'll explain everything.
Damn. If they keep shooting like that, they're gonna hit us. That has to be an M60. Belt-fed, heavy-duty, great for pinning people down. But the real question is, where did they find it?
No, the better question is, how the hell did you know that?
Lucky guess? I pulled the dark-haired woman to the floor, covering us both. I shielded my ears, guessing her scarred arm was from a past gunshot. After a minute, the shooting ceased. Cautiously, I edged toward the window, keeping my head down. Hey, you okay? Are you hit? The woman slid back up, checking herself.
No, I'm good. Thanks for that.
You can thank me when we get the hell out of here alive. We aren't going to do that if we don't have a game plan. Any ideas?
Other than not getting hit by the gun, no.
I needed a plan. Fast. Scanning the shed, my eyes landed on a tipped-over table. Stay low, and help me move that table over here. We can use it for cover. I shoved the table against the door, partially blocking it as gunfire rattled on. A perfect distraction. Stay low. This is part of the plan. Let me see your knife.
What? Why? What's your plan?
My plan is to get us out of here alive. Now let me see your damn knife. I jammed the knife into a floorboard, leveraging all my strength to pry it up.
You're digging out the floor?
Yes! There's not much time, let's go! Once I lifted the board high enough, I slid my fingers under the edge and forced it up. After a few more tugs, 2 more hands joined mine. Together we pulled the board free. I handed her knife back, a gesture to show I meant no harm.
It's barely big enough.
There. It'll have to do. Let's move.
I can't believe that worked.
Don't celebrate yet. Keep moving. They're going to be looking for us. We navigated through the crawl space under the shed, relieved to find an exit at the back. Exiting, we brushed off the clinging dirt from our clothes.
All right, let's go.
Hang on a second. Let me see your knife again.
What? Why?
Look, if I wanted to kill you, I would have back in the shed. But these assholes have guns. And until I figure out what's going on, we're going to need to use that.
Oh, no. No, I don't think so. You aren't dragging me back there.
I wasn't asking you to go back. I was asking for your knife.
They're outside. Circle around.
On second thought, run. Just as I thought we'd found a way out, it happened. A sharp yank from below me around my ankle sent me airborne. I kicked and thrashed, but my left leg was caught in something. Some kind of snare. What the hell?
Hang on! I'll get you!
Before she could finish, she was yanked in the air by her feet too. We hung upside down in silence. I took a minute to take the view of the island in. The sun was starting to set. This place. This hellscape. It was really kind of pretty. The shed we were just in didn't sit far from the beach. My vista view was interrupted.
Well, well. Looks like we caught him.
Strung them up like wild hogs. We got 2 pretty-looking things, too.
Shit.
2 for the price of 1? Can't beat those odds.
2 for the price of 1? How about you get us the hell down from here?
Yeah, sorry. Can't do that.
You'll get down all right, but not alive. Gonna be getting 2 bullets to the head.
I think I'll take 4 for the price of 1!
Oh my god.
Let us go! Please don't kill us!
My breath caught in my throat as he stepped into the fading light. The man looked like something out of a movie. A rugged beard framing a cold, unflinching face. With dark hair tied back that could fall to his shoulders, like a shadow creeping into the scene. His eyes scanned us with a hunter's precision. Stepping forward, he cut my friend's rope that held her. He cut my rope too. I hit the ground and rose immediately, staring him directly in the face.
No! Don't kill her, please! If you let us go, I can...
Quiet! The others will hear you. What are you going to do? Attack me now? After I just saved your asses?
Saved us. You're the reason why we were hung up in the first place.
You don't know what you're talking about.
First I wake up on this island not knowing who I am, or who she is. Now you just come in and try to play hero or something? What do you want? A reward?
You weren't with them, were you?
No, but don't try to explain that to her. She's a hothead.
A hothead.
No, let's hear him out. You guys follow me. Plus, I owe you an explanation, remember?
That you do. You can start with your name.
It's Tessa. Tessa Gray. But you can call me Tess for short.
I don't suppose you know my name, too.
No, sorry. But I'm going to show you that. We just need to move away from this part of the island first. And what about you? Do you know your name?
She motioned toward the man, giving me a chance to observe him closely. His imposing 6'1" frame and deliberate movements suggested a predator assessing its next move. His left arm displayed a tattoo sleeve with barbed wire and names entwined, resembling a haunting memorial. Despite his rugged, meticulously groomed beard and long slicked-back hair tied into a ponytail, it was his piercing blue eyes that struck me. They had a softness that seemed out of place, too gentle for someone who had just witnessed such brutality. His strong jawline, high cheekbones, and narrow nose defined his features sharply, but his eyes suggested a different story. He paused, lowering his head before responding.
Can't say I do.
What? How is she the only one that knows what's going on?
Like I said, follow me and I'll explain everything.
Tessa led the way, leaving me behind with the man who had just killed 2 people.
Well, we going to follow her?
Yeah. But not before you get in front of me. I don't trust you.
Fine. Whatever.
As night fell while we traversed the forest, distant gunshots and potential screams occasionally pierced the air, a stark reminder of our recent ordeals. I attempted to focus on the island's serene aspects instead. The rhythmic sound of waves and rustling leaves along the dirt path offered a brief respite from our troubles. Eventually, Tessa guided us to a secluded settlement set back from the shore. The gate, made of intertwined bamboo and reclaimed materials, groaned as it opened, revealing a community apparently constructed in haste. Makeshift huts and shelters of bamboo, tarp, and salvaged materials formed a rustic enclave, ingeniously crafted to provide sanctuary amidst dense vegetation.
Don't worry, you'll be safe here. For the time being.
Did you build all this yourself?
That's flattering, but no.
The camp was arranged in a circular layout, with 2 large black makeshift cauldrons standing at the center. I peered over the rim of one cauldron, but couldn't see inside. The one on the left seemed to be boiling broth, with random vegetables surfacing occasionally. Soup?
Yes, but that's not until after the process. You guys ready?
Ready for.
Are you about to tell us what the hell is going on? Judging from this camp, I'd say you've been here a while. And your arm. You must have had some kind of bullet wound.
I'm glad you mentioned my arm, because no, it's not a bullet wound. It relates to what I am going to show you.
As Tessa spoke, she carefully reached into the bubbling cauldron with a tong that looked unusually sophisticated for its rustic surroundings. Clenching the tool tightly, she extracted a sharp piece of steel, its surface gleaming under the torchlight's flicker. This was no ordinary metal. Embedded with intricate circuitry and glowing elements, it was evident that someone with advanced technological skills had crafted it.
That doesn't look like something you cook with.
What is that? Some kind of tech?
Yeah, exactly. This isn't just about survival. It's about what you can create with what you have.
Tessa submerged the piece of steel in the water, adjacent to the boiling cauldron, holding it there momentarily before setting aside the sophisticated tongs. With composed ease, she then lifted the cooled metal with her bare hands and motioned for me to extend my arm. Obliging, I reached out. Her fingertips traced the length of my arm, each touch sending an involuntary shiver through me, the sensation prickling at the back of my neck. She paused at my shoulder, pressing down with a firmness that held a curious intimacy.
Does that hurt?
No. She pulled me in closer, her breath warm against my ear, the hushed whisper sending a shiver down my spine. Her grip lingered, deliberate, testing the boundaries between caution and something unspoken.
Can you feel it move?
Something, yeah.
This next part is going to hurt, but it has to be done. You need to see who you really are. I know. Shh. I almost got it.
Feeling the slicing of more flesh, I winced, my entire body tensing against the sharp, unbearable pain. The tearing sensation was deep and ragged, like claws being dragged through my skin. As Tessa worked, the blood ran warm and fast, dripping onto the dirt beneath us.
Got it!
The world began to tilt as the pain overwhelmed me, and I felt my knees buckle. I collapsed onto the dirt, the ground cold and unforgiving against my cheek. I wasn't able to move. I tried to mutter Tessa's name for help, but as consciousness slipped away, the last thing I heard was Tessa's voice. Still soft, still reassuring, fading into the distance.
You'll be okay. This is the part that sucks.
After a brief second of darkness, memories plagued me. There I was. Not a military expert, but a vocal citizen. A regular person who dared to challenge the tightening grip of a fascist government. Tired of being oppressed by an overruling government that took away all of our rights. Working a typical job wasn't cutting it anymore. My significant other was sick with a chronic disease. And they took and took until I couldn't let them take anymore. My protest, a fight for free speech, a right we were rapidly losing, turned chaotic. The feds, not just ordinary cops, stormed through, unleashing tear gas and dragging us away from our lines. I was torn from the arms of my significant other, my voice drowned out by the shouts of order and control. Free speech. A term now mocked and punished. But when one of their own stands on a street corner and does a Nazi salute, no one bats an eye. I found myself thrown in an unmarked van, being carried away to stand trial, standing before the ultimate AI judge. I heard the cold, digital verdict.
Say, Quinn, you are sentenced to exile on the Isle, where you will live out your punishment for the crime of dissent against the Chosen. We do not speak out, we obey.
With those chilling words, I was injected with something numbing, dragged onto a helicopter, and dropped into this lawless wasteland where all crime is legal, left to survive. Or not. What?
Hey, it's okay. You're safe. Do you remember now?
I do. It's Shay Quinn. What happened? I scanned the hut, my attention drawn to the shelves lining the walls. Rows of glass jars sat in place, their surfaces smudged with grime. Inside each one, suspended in murky liquid, were microchips. Some damaged, others intact. A collection of discarded identities, each one belonging to someone who had been there before me. These jars, are they... Is this what was inside of me?
It was. And now you know how I got my scar.
Tessa lifted her arm, her finger pointed towards the scar on her shoulder, drawing my attention to it. Okay, but how did you know that was there? And how long have you been here? And why did you choose to save me?
Shay, I will answer all your questions in a second, but...
I hate to interrupt, but the other one's awake.
Before Tessa could finish, a man wearing a white coat entered into the room of the hut we were in. Standing at 6'5", his stature surprised me a bit. His salt and pepper hair added to his senior look. I noted the stubble on his face, neatly trimmed, which was surprising, given our rough conditions. It hinted at a meticulousness that seemed out of place among the apparent disarray of our island refuge. His face, framed by high cheekbones and a square jaw, bore the marks of age and wisdom, with lines that deepened when he smiled, giving him an approachable, yet imposing demeanor. His eyes, a penetrating shade of blue, assessed the room with a calm and measured gaze. The fact that he managed to maintain such grooming here suggested a level of resourcefulness. It was clear that these refugees, whether by choice or necessity, had established some semblance of order. As he approached, his presence filled the space, his demeanor both reassuring and authoritative. I knew then that understanding how to navigate this community, and possibly finding a way out, hinged on engaging with individuals like him. Survivors who had adapted uniquely to their circumstances.
Hey, you okay? Do you remember now?
Stay away!
Waking up from this is always the hardest part. Do you remember your name?
It's Cole. Cole Ryder. And you're going to explain to me what's going on.
Easy, Cole. We're all in this together. Let's not make any rash moves, or I'm going to have to detain you.
Sorry. I didn't mean to come off hostile. But all this is all crazy. You all seem like you've settled here. I want off this island.
Listen, we all want off this island. But for the moment, that's not an option. The only thing that we can do is prep and keep everyone alive that Tess finds.
What's that?
It's the tracer for the next supply drop. I keep the handheld in the next room. I'll discuss that later. But, Cole, don't you see there isn't a way off this island? Not unless we branch out more. At the moment, this part of the island is the only part I know. The island is broken down into sectors.
Wait, what?
Bez, listen to her. She knows this place well, and she's the reason that we have the tech we do.
I guess you could say I'm a bit of a tech nerd. Any metal or anything that would come out of the supply drops, I'd get. That's kind of how we built this little community.
Tessa? Doctor?
Sorry, it's Reed. Dr. Alex Reed.
How long have you two been on this island? You seem to know a lot about it.
That doesn't matter.
Like hell it doesn't matter. I want to see a map.
A map won't matter. You just don't get it, do you?
Look, if I can see a map, I might be able to get us the hell out of here.
A small silence filled the group.
Fine. Maybe you should show them.
Are you sure?
It's probably for the best.
Okay, I'll show you. But you need to understand, it's not as simple as just finding a map and walking out. Come with me. As you can see, this is just a rough sketch of the island. We don't have drones or the tech to map out the rest. This place is like a giant maze, divided into sectors by its creators. Each one has its own terrain, dangers, and sometimes even a different climate. I've only made it through 2.
Climate? So it's being controlled then?
Most likely. That's what we suspect anyways.
Here, take a look.
Tessa pointed to an area on the map that was a lower part of the island.
We're in Sector 3. Mostly jungle and swampland with the ocean cutting it off at the edges. Each sector is sealed off by high-tech barriers, nearly impossible to breach without the right equipment.
What about patrols, cameras, drones?
Exactly. Each sector is monitored. There are drones, sensors, and guards equipped with everything from night vision to thermal imaging. Or at least, I'd imagine there is.
So, we're basically in a high-security prison without walls.
In a matter of speaking, yes. But Tess has been working on something that might help.
I've been modifying these. They can jam drone signals temporarily. It's risky, but it's the only shot we have if we're going to move between sectors without being detected.
So there is a way out?
Potentially. But it's dangerous, and we'd need to be perfectly coordinated. We can't afford any mistakes.
Tess, Have you ever tried taking one of those drones down?
Can't say that I have. I mostly stick to these sectors of the island. Why? What's on your mind, Shay?
We use one of the jammers you got. Bring the drone back here. Do you think you'd be able to reverse engineer it?
You want to reverse engineer the drone to map out the island. Exactly what I was thinking. But I may be better at following a map than you.
Oh?
Before I was here and chipped, I was a delivery driver. Turns out the Supreme Leader thought the package I was delivering was an explosive mechanism. No one told me I needed security clearance for that stop.
So, you got wrongfully accused. And here you are.
Right. Sadly.
I've seen the way you handle a gun, though. You have some sort of training. You shot 2 people in the head back there to save us.
Black belt in jiu-jitsu. It's a good way to channel my anger with all the crazy shit going on. I also had firearm training. Comes in handy when you need to even the odds.
All right, that's enough introductions for today. Tess, how far away is this next drop? And do we still have a chance of catching it?
There's one thing we haven't covered yet. The people on this island tried to kill you earlier. We're pretty sure that the chip sets them crazy. Like they wake up in that mindset. They grab the closest thing that they can find, they go hunting for whoever, or whatever, they can find. I did it. Luckily, you weren't that hostile, Shay. If anyone out there sees us, we could be shot. Or worse.
The worst is eaten.
That too.
That doesn't explain the point system.
The point system. What do you mean?
I noticed it in my flashbacks after Tessa removed my chip. The more people you kill, the higher your score. I think the chip tracks it through DNA or something. I don't know for sure. All I know is when I woke up, there was only one instinct. Kill or be killed. But then, I saw you 2 fighting, refusing to give in. And something in me shifted.
We're wasting time. We need to move if we plan on getting to the supply drop.
It's probably gone by now. The best thing we can do is wait till the storm passes. We'll more than likely run into more people trying to harm us, as we mentioned. So, it's best to stay here for the time being, now that we're all acquainted.
You can't be serious.
If what she's saying is true, then we should probably listen to them. Besides, Shay and I can share a room.
I don't think so.
What do you think? Just saving us from our captors earlier? And we're supposed to fall into your arms and fall in love with you? Like some sort of damsel in distress? Sorry, but I got someone waiting for me back home.
Well, that's a shame.
What?
I didn't say anything. Good night.
The offer still stands.
If you guys need anything, I'm just a few huts over. Have a good night.
As I made my way back to the cot, the roar of the storm outside seemed almost soothing, a stark contrast to the chaos of the day. My body ached for rest, but my mind raced, flickering between the memories of home and the grim realities of this island. I used to lose hours wrapped up in my writing, crafting stories from the comfort of my desk, never imagining I'd find myself living in a narrative so dark. The unfinished chapters of my book haunted me. How long had it been since I last felt the keys under my fingers? How long since I'd felt anything other than survival's sharp edge? With everything going on in the world, it took me from my favorite hobby. Cole's words echoed in my thoughts. Stirring emotions I tried to barricade. How long had it been since I'd felt someone's touch that wasn't born of necessity or defense? And his gruff look did make him attractive. No, I couldn't let my guard down. Not even in my thoughts. Then there was Tessa. Her nerdy charm and brilliant mind had become a beacon of hope in this madness. Without her, would I even be alive? Yet her flirty comment lingered in the air, teasing at thoughts I wasn't allowed to have or act upon in the new society the Supreme Ruler created. A memory shot in my mind, reminding me of being with one of my girlfriends. Before Derek, somewhere. I hoped that Derek hadn't given up on me. I had to believe he was out there, fighting for me as fiercely as I fought to survive here. But as the wind howled and the rain beat down on the fragile roof, my exhausted body gave in to sleep. My last conscious thought was a silent plea that beyond the storm, beyond the sea, my life awaited me. Sleep, relentless and deep, finally overtook me, offering a brief escape from the island's relentless grip. The new day greeted me with a deceptive calm. For a brief moment, the island seemed almost serene, washed in the soft light of dawn. I got up from my cot, made my way out of the hut, only to be greeted by Tess.
Morning.
Morning. I was thinking of heading down to the ocean for a bit, just behind the village. That okay with you?
Here, take this.
Tess reached behind her, grabbed one of her makeshift blades, and handed it to me.
If you see anyone that isn't us, you got them, okay?
Jesus, Tess. That's a bit dark, isn't it?
No, she's right. The people on this island, as we mentioned last night, are not normal. They're all chipped. So be careful out there.
Thanks. I will. I made my way out the backwood gate and down to the ocean. Walking along the ocean line, I found a spot overlooking the sea. A place where the morning light painted the waves in hues of gold and azure. It could have been the perfect spot for writing. My ideal retreat in another life. Before all this, I would spend mornings like these lost in my stories, weaving narratives fueled by cups of coffee and the quiet of dawn. Derek used to tease me about how I'd get lost in my own world, his laughter filling our small, cozy writing room. He was always my anchor, bringing me back with gentle reminders that there was a world outside my novels, a world much darker, that was surrounded by stripping away of rights and an overpowering government. That left me with a sense of dread, feeling hopeless. But here, on this island, the concept of safety is as fleeting as the tide. Every beautiful moment is overshadowed by the threat of violence, the knowledge that every other person could be an enemy, driven by the sinister programming of their chips. Derek, wherever he is, I hope he still holds on to the memory of us, fighting through the chaos of a world gone mad, just as fiercely as I fought to survive here. It's a cruel irony, really, how a place so captivating can also be so deadly. If not for the constant fear of my life, I could imagine spending my mornings here, writing by the sea, inspired by the roar of the waves and the cry of the gulls. Yet each peaceful moment is tinged with the reality of the next struggle for survival.
Really is beautiful, isn't it? The deadly paradise.
It is. It makes you wonder about all the what-ifs, doesn't it?
It really does. I just came to check on you. Cole and Dr. Reed are working on a plan for the next supply drop. They are confident I can reverse engineer a drone to help scout out more of the island.
Do you think you can?
To be honest, I don't know. I'm really just trying to take it a day at a time. There was something else I needed to ask you.
What's that?
Who were you before you were chipped?
I was a writer. Not published or anything. I got sent here for speaking out against the Supreme Ruler during a free speech protest. Back at the shed. You asked how I knew what gun they were firing. My dad was military commanding officer of basic training for the SEALs. He was tough. But I knew it came from a place of love. He trained me in self-defense, taught me how to handle firearms, and drilled a lot of the same lessons he gave his recruits into me. I grew up around weapons, learning their mechanics, their sounds. That's how I knew.
It sounds like he was a big influence on you. Do you think that's why you stood up at the protest? Because of the ideals he instilled in you?
Maybe. He taught me to stand up for what I believe in, no matter the cost. He always said, if you see something wrong in the world, you have a responsibility to try to right it. I guess that's what pushed me to speak out that day at the protest, even if it led me here. I just wonder what he would think, knowing I'm here.
Do you think... Shit! That came from the base! Come on!
As we sprinted toward the village gates, I noticed they had been left open. Tessa rushed in first, and I followed close behind. Just as I was about to step through, a strong grip yanked me back, forcing me against the barricade. It was Dr. Reed. He grabbed me and was holding his leg.
Oh my god! What happened?
Cole went out the main entrance after you left. Next thing I know, he's running back saying they found us. Turns out they were closer than we thought. One of their bullets got me.
Yeah, they found the camp. Brought what I could. Here, Doc.
Supplies! We don't have time for that. We need to move. There's no telling how many of them are coming.
No. Give me 5 minutes. Please, that's all I need. I can do this operation myself.
No, Shay's right. We need to move.
Tessa, please. Use the bows to hold them off. We'll slip through the back. We have emergency things just for this.
Everyone, including myself, looked at Tessa, awaiting her response.
Fuck. Fine! Well, we don't have very many arrows. You've got 5 minutes. Then we have to move from this location.
I'll stay and help.
Cole, time to see what you can do with the bows we got, while Shay helps patch up Dr. Reed.
Shay... in my bag. The one that Cole brought. Find the emergency supply kit we put together.
Unzipping the bag, I maneuvered around in it, pulling out a small plastic container at the very bottom. Is this it?
Yeah. Hand it here, please.
I passed the kit to Dr. Reed, his hands shaking slightly as he pulled out a pair of pliers. Without hesitation, he grabbed a bottle of drinking alcohol, pouring it over the metal, the liquid dripping onto the dirt below. Are you sure you don't need me to do anything else?
I've done it before. Just be ready to help me wrap it up tight once I'm done.
Got it.
Here we go. Bullets out. Now pour the rest of that alcohol over the wound. Damn it, it's going to sting. But it needs to be clean.
Now wrap it?
Yeah.
Guys, time's up. Let's go.
Can you walk, old man?
Don't have much choice on the matter, do I?
Come on. I grabbed one of Dr. Reed's arms, while Cole grabbed the other, helping him back up to his feet. Tessa led the way outside of the back gate near the ocean front. It was rather sad to see the little hut village be left behind. After we got a good distance away, we saw smoke coming from the former village. The sight of our sanctuary turning into ashes stirred a mix of anger and sorrow within me. The home that had offered us brief respite was now just another casualty in this relentless survival game. As we moved deeper into the densely wooded area, the minutes seemed to stretch into hours. The underbrush was thick, scratching at our legs as we pushed forward, each step taking us further from what had been a semblance of stability. Thankfully, we hadn't run into any more groups of hostile forces. The isolation, while eerie, was a small mercy in the chaos that had erupted since dawn.
I can't go any further.
Doc, are you sure? Maybe just a bit further, to a safer spot.
No. You need to keep moving. I'll only slow you down.
We're not leaving you. Not here. Reluctantly, Cole and I eased Dr. Reed down onto the damp, swampy grass under the shelter of an overhanging tree. The coolness of the shaded area was a small relief against the humidity that enveloped us. Dr. Reed insisted on taking a few minutes to rest. Maybe it would help him regain enough strength to continue.
We can't stay long. This isn't safe. We're exposed.
Just rest for a moment. We'll figure something out.
No, we can't stay at all.
Well then, what do you expect us to do, Tess? We can't just leave him.
Hey, let's keep our voices down. They might hear us. But she's right, Tessa. What are we doing here? Do you even know where we're going?
I haven't gotten that far yet.
We should keep heading north toward the center of that map you sketched out, Tessa. If your guess about the sectors is right, whatever's controlling this island has to be near the middle.
What?
How do you know that?
If we keep heading north, we'll eventually hit the next sector. Maybe if we find another body of water, we can use it to navigate toward the island's center. I still think that could be our way out.
Or it could be something else. Something like death?
Well, gee, thanks for the boost in confidence.
Hey, don't yell at her.
Thanks for that, Tess. But I don't need you to take up for me. I'm just being real. And I don't need you.
Enough! Cole was a delivery driver before coming to the island. So I assume he has a bit of memory of maps. Let's hope that he's right. We'll head north until we get to the next sector, but if I slow you guys down, you go on without me. I'm not going to stand here and listen to you argue like children. That's my final decision. Am I understood?
We all nodded in agreement. I slung Dr. Reed's arm over my shoulder, Cole doing the same on the other side, turning ourselves into a makeshift crutch. As instructed, we moved north, each step careful. Trying not to jolt him more than necessary, the forest thickened around us, the brush clawing at our clothes, branches slashing across our faces as we pushed forward. Dr. Reed's breath came in sharp, pained exhales, but he never asked us to stop.
Keep going.
The weight of his reliance on us was heavy, an unspoken testament to the fragile bond that had formed between us in the face of survival. Each step forward felt more crucial than the last, our silent determination the only thing keeping us from falling apart. As we pushed through the thinning forest, something shifted. A subtle yet undeniable change in the air. A low vibration crawled up my spine, tingling at the base of my neck, like a warning we had yet to understand. Then, we saw it. A massive tear in the land split the island in two. a jagged chasm that looked like the earth had been violently ripped apart. The edges were sheer and sharp, exposing deep layers of rock and soil that hinted at something unnatural beneath. From the depths, a low rhythmic hum pulsed through the air, filling the silence with an eerie resonance. It wasn't just the wind or shifting earth. It was something else. Something alive. The darkness below was impenetrable, swallowing any trace of depth, making it impossible to tell how far down it went. A shiver ran through me as I took a step closer, drawn to the sound despite every instinct screaming at me to turn back. This wasn't just another part of the island. This was something different. A secret, buried in plain sight. A force waiting to be reckoned with. The hum grew stronger, an unrelenting mechanical whisper against the wind. It was calling to us. Whether it held the answers we needed or a danger we weren't prepared for, I wasn't sure. But one thing was certain. There was no turning back now.
Get a look at that. This isn't natural. It's almost like the fault line was man-made.
Yeah, well, we didn't come all this way to look at it.
Right, 1 second.
Tessa reached down, grabbing a loose twig and tossing it across the barrier. I flinched a little bit, thinking it would be deflected back. Thankfully, it hit the ground in no time, putting my mind at ease.
I just wanted to be sure. Stay low. I'll lead. Things seem to be quiet.
Staying low, Tessa managed her way across the barrier, all of us following pursuit. As we walked a few feet ahead, the outline of a facility emerged through the mist, its structure broken down and eerily silent. But before we could get closer, a gunshot rang out, slicing through the quiet like a knife.
Tessa, down!
Dr. Reed!
In the chaos, I saw Dr. Reed clutch his chest, his face contorted in pain as he collapsed to the ground. All of us rushed down to his side. I put my hands over the top of his gunshot wound, dead center in chest, trying to stop the bleeding. Shit, Dr. Reed, stay with us!
Stay with us, Alex! You can't die here! Not like this!
It's okay. It's okay. Leave me. You run now.
No! Doctor!
Alex! Dr. Alex Reed took his last breath, staring up at me. The light behind his eyes no more. I took my blood-soaked hand, shutting his eyes as heavy tears started hitting his wound.
We can't stay here. They're coming. They already know we're here. Someone will follow that gunshot.
What do we do?
We fight. And we find a way off this damn island. For Dr. Reed. It's what he'd want.
No, that's a bad idea. We move and find a way off the island. It's us three versus them. Now let's move.
We can't just leave him here. He deserves a proper burial.
I know it sucks, but we don't have a choice in the matter, Shay. We have to move.
Behind us, people started to gather and appear from out of the night, the land filled with people fighting one another. Cole was right. I wiped the remaining blood off my hands in the grass. Standing back up, Tessa took off running farther in the forest. Cole and I followed. After a few minutes of running, Tessa found an abandoned cave in a nearby wooded area. What are you doing?
It's not much, but it's all we have. If this island wanted to take one of us, it's only fair we leave something behind to remember him by. He saved me. gave me a second chance. I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for him. He was like a father in all the ways that mattered. I just wish that I had told him that. We'll stay here tonight. Take turns sleeping. Cole, would you mind first watch? I need to rest. I'm drained.
I'm sorry. I wish I knew him longer. He seemed like a good man. If you need anything, let me know.
Rest easy, Doctor. Thank you for all your hard work. I'll lay down and face the entranceway. I'm a light sleeper, so if I hear any movement or anything, I'll check it out.
Sounds good.
I put my back against the hard wall of the cave, sliding down, and leaning my head back. After a few minutes, Tessa made her way over to me, sitting beside me.
You okay?
I think so. A lot has just happened.
No kidding. Try and get some rest, okay? We'll figure it out what we can do tomorrow.
I laid down on the hard, uneven surface, shutting my eyes. The cold dampness of the ground seeped through my clothes, a stark reminder of how much I missed the simple comfort of the cot back at the hut village. It was easy to see why Dr. Reed and Tessa had settled there. It offered something this cave never could. A fleeting sense of home. I shivered as a chill swept through the cavern, my body instinctively tensing against the cold. From the entrance, Cole shifted, scooting back to find some warmth. Without thinking, I adjusted too, closing the distance between us. I curled up behind him, wrapping a cautious arm around his waist, seeking whatever heat we could share in this unforgiving place. Sorry if this is weird. I'm cold.
Don't worry about it. Get some shut-eye.
Behind me, I heard the soft shuffle of movement, then the warmth of an arm sliding beneath mine. Tessa nestled in close, her presence a quiet reassurance against the cold. The heat from her body pressed against my back, easing the tension that had settled deep in my bones. The notion was comforting. I allowed myself a small smile, sinking into the moment, letting my guard drop just enough. This time, sleep came for me without a fight. I slowly opened my eyes, still feeling groggy, and not wanting to move. That's when I noticed Cole was gone. Shit! I got up, jolting Tessa awake.
What? What is it?
Cole, he's gone.
What?
Don't move.
Looking up, I was suddenly confronted by a large, imposing figure, looming over us. His head was bald, the skin glistening under the dim light filtering through the cave entrance. His face was strikingly marked with bold stripes of war paint, black and red swirling across his cheeks and forehead in intricate patterns that spoke of a fierce warrior tradition. The intensity of his gaze was magnified by the vivid war paint, giving him an almost otherworldly presence as he held us at gunpoint, while holding Cole by his neck. How do all you guys end up with guns but us?
Don't move and drop anything you have. I'll shoot you and him.
Sorry.
Shut up. Name's Kano. You're gonna give me everything you have.
Okay, look. Let him go.
I said don't move.
I put my hands up in the air, trying to de-escalate the situation, with one more small step forward.
Bitch, I told you, I'll kill him.
You don't have to do that. Just let him go and we can talk this out. I locked eyes with Cole, giving him a subtle downward flick of my gaze, hoping he'd understand. A silent command. His expression tensed for a moment before he blinked. He got it. Relief flickered, but I didn't let it show. I took another step forward, steady, controlled, waiting for the right moment.
I'm warning you.
Okay. Cole, now! Cole ducked, just enough for me to strike. With a swift movement, I swept the man's legs out from under him, sending him crashing to the ground. The crack of a gunshot echoed through the cave, the blast ricocheting off the stone walls. The man hit the ground hard, and I drove my boot down onto his hand, forcing him to release the gun with a pained grunt. Without hesitation, Cole darted forward, snatching the weapon before the man could react. You good?
Yeah, I think so. That was awesome! How'd you learn to do that?
It's a long story. Let me see that gun real quick. All right, asshole. You're going to tell me how to get to the middle part of the sector of this island. That is, if you don't want your brains blown out in this cave.
Middle? Sector? What?
Shit! Let me see your arm.
Tessa ran her fingers along the length of his muscular frame, stopping at his shoulder. With a firm press, she tested for something beneath the skin, her expression sharpening with realization.
Yeah, he's still chipped. This one is useless.
Damn it. All right then. I'm going to take this gun, and you're going to let us go. You hear me? And the least you can do is tell me which way you came. North or south?
North, just as we discussed. Or at least that's the way he was facing when he snagged me.
All right then. Have fun not remembering anything, asshole. Let's go, guys.
You're going to have to show me and tell me how you knew how to do that. Did you do jujitsu too?
A little more complicated than that, Cole. If we make it out of here alive, I'll tell you everything.
Besides, I'm pretty sure she could kick your ass anyways. Shay's fearless.
Oh yeah? Well...
Cole!
No, not you two. Hang in there.
I fell to my knees, pressing hard down on his chest, finding myself once again reminded of the dangers of this island. Tears began to swell up as I applied pressure, trying to get the wound to stop bleeding. No, not like this. Cole, hang on. Tess, grab the med kit out of your bag. Maybe we can remove it and seal it.
Okay, Cole, hang on. We aren't losing you too.
It's okay, Jay. Tessa, don't be sad for me. I'd rather go out like this, fighting for a chance of freedom, than ever let that tyrant dictate the end of my story. You both showed me there's a fight worth fighting, outside the shadows of that ruler. Keep going, okay? Make it count, for all of us who can't make it out. Don't look back.
As Cole's voice trailed off, the life slowly fading from his eyes, the finality of his words hit hard. In this grim, unforgiving wilderness, he had found a cause worth the ultimate sacrifice. Though the pain of losing him was sharp and immediate, his resolve to defy tyranny to his last breath would fuel our determination to escape, to honor his memory by continuing the fight. Anger boiled up inside of me. Where did the shot come from? I looked behind us. The cave.
No. Go. I'm so sorry. Where are you going? Shay!
Not answering her, I pulled the gun out from my side, walking to where I anticipated the shooter to be. It was Kano, still standing there with his gun out. I forgot to check him for other weapons. I aimed for his kneecap, shooting one out.
No! Forget about it! Shay, let's go. Cole would want us to move forward.
I am moving forward. I gave you one chance. One chance to let us go. You didn't have to kill him in cold blood like that.
You no good stupid bitch. It's kill to be killed out there. Don't you get it? Ugh.
Oh, I get it. And I understand perfectly.
Oh my god!
Let's get moving. I only got one shot left in this gun. We keep heading north.
Hey! Oh, wait up!
You okay?
Are you?
I'm fine. Let's move. Nightfall is coming, and I don't want to be stuck in another battle like the one we saw last night. Plus, it's hard to say if the next sector is the last one. Most of the walking after the incident was done in silence. We exchanged questions and made small talk here and there, but everything going on around me had numbed my senses. I was over it. Over the fear, the loss, the constant threats. The numbness wasn't just from the fatigue. It was deeper. A protective shell hardening around what little hope I had left. As we trudged forward, each step felt automatic, disconnected from the urgency that had propelled us forward. After miles on end, the sun started to set, and we made it to the next sector. This climate was different, more humid. Rain began to pulse down on us, and I welcomed it.
There it is. You sure you still want to go through with this?
I didn't come all this way to look at it. Let's go.
Wait! We go in there. There's no going back. We may not come out alive. Plus, don't you think we should talk about earlier?
I did what I had to do.
Shay, you aren't chipped anymore. You will carry that for the rest of your life. You killed a man?
How many have you killed on this island?
None. Not even when I was chipped. You've seen a lot of blood the last couple of days.
What do you want me to say, Tess? That when we go in there, it's all gonna be better? Did I snap? Yeah, maybe I did. But I watched two of our friends die right in front of us. Both in cold blood. I don't know what you want me to say. This island is kill or be killed. Much like Kano said. Look. All I know is I'm going in there. With or without you. I'm getting the hell off this island.
I have one request.
What?
Can I kiss you?
What? Her words caught me off guard. I hesitated, unsure how to respond. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't drawn to her. There was something undeniable between us. But I had someone waiting for me back home. Or, at least, I hoped I did.
Like a goodbye. Just in case we don't come back. Plus, if the Supreme Ruler has cameras here, maybe it'll make him sick to see.
As much as I like pissing off the establishment, Before I could finish, her lips embraced mine. And in that very moment, it was like a scene out of a romance novel. The world around us faded, leaving just the rain, the cave, and the bittersweet taste of a kiss that might be our last. As our kiss broke, the ground beneath us trembled slightly, the air filled with the sound of ancient mechanisms awakening. We pulled apart, startled, our moment of intimacy interrupted by the unmistakable noise of a large stone door grinding open somewhere deeper within the cave.
Did you hear that? That's our cue. Whatever's opening up in there, it's waiting for us.
Let's find out what it is. After all, we came here for answers.
Right behind you.
What is this place?
Some kind of tunnel.
Leading into the cavern, the walls weren't just stone. They were made out of gold. Torches on the side of the wall highlighted the corridor, all while exposing pictures. All of the pictures were men in uniforms.
These photos, most of them, they all look alike.
I bet they're related. They have to be.
No, I think you're right. I think the majority of these people in these photos are all family. Almost like some sort of Illuminati bloodline or something. If I had to guess, this must be the Supreme Ruler's family. Or the island owners.
Yeah. Let's move.
As we pondered the mystery of the cavern, a sudden chill swept through the air. The kind that seeps deep into your bones. From the darkest end of the room, where shadows seemed to gather more densely, a low hum began to rise, culminating in a burst of bluish light that coalesced into a flickering form.
What the hell is that?
Watch out!
A holographic blob appeared underneath me. Tessa grabbed me, pulling me away from it. An explosion followed shortly after, causing the inside to shake. Thanks for that, but what is that thing?
I don't know. Hologram AI?
I pointed to the glowing object materializing from thin air. Its presence was menacing, eyes red, gleaming down at us. It gave off a bright glow, indicating it was indeed a hologram. Or what I thought it was. It stood at 9 feet tall. On top of the hologram AI creature's head sat horns where hair was supposed to be. But they were horns flowing backwards, made entirely of nightmarish black metal. Its face devoid of human warmth. Its mouth, a jagged abyss, lined with sharp, metallic teeth, twisted into a cruel smirk, as if it relished the fear it instilled. From its ethereal body, tendrils of black mist seeped out, reaching into the air like the touch of death, ready to strike at its whim.
Not just any hologram AI. I'm the protector of this island, and you are not supposed to be here. I am created by the Supreme Ruler, meant to keep you and others out. I am Eberus, and this is where you die.
We took cover behind a nearby metal crate. Erebus kept firing off hologram spells, or something to hit it. Each hit, I could feel the crate give way a little. Hologram what? Tess, I think Cole was wrong. I don't think this is the way out.
Yeah, I'm starting to think so too. I've never seen any type of technology like this before.
You said it was hologram AI. So how is it doing this?
Good question. There has to be some sort of mechanism bringing it to life.
Okay, but that doesn't tell me how we can kill whatever this is.
Did you happen to see if there was some sort of power core?
No, I didn't have time. If this thing can materialize in our environment, wherever it's broadcasting from, one of those magic balls hits us and we're done for.
I know! There must be a power core somewhere.
I'm going to check. See if you can cause a diversion.
What?
You there. Hold.
The blast barely missed me, forcing me to dive out of the way. I hit the ground hard, rolling to the left side of Erebus. And then, I saw it.
His power core, pulsing like a heartbeat, the source of his terrifying strength.
Look! Hey, tall and ugly! You forgot about me?
You will bow. Both of you will bow to me.
I darted for the power core, taking another leap and grabbing its cord. I thought you were all supreme. Guess being attached to this doesn't make you that, huh? Erebus dissipated as I fell to the ground on my back, letting exhaustion overcome me.
Shay!
I'm fine. Just beat. Couldn't be happier to see that thing go, though.
What now?
The cavern we were in started to open from the middle, exposing another side of the isle. Waves and sunlight greeted me. I squinted, holding my hand up in front of my face, trying to make out the view. This island. It's something. I don't suppose the ones in charge get this way to and from the island.
Yeah, probably not. I'd say Erebus was a security system.
He was something. Let's get out of this place. As we exited the cavern, I noticed a dock down on the shore side with one boat. I took off, darting toward it with Tessa. Both of us jumped into the boat. Damn. No keys.
Here, move over. Let me take a look.
No way. Tess, you're amazing.
Stop. Let's get the hell off this island.
As the island shrank behind us, relief mixed with a stark dread. We were free, yet the world ahead was irrevocably altered. Branded as terrorists by the media, Tessa and I had to disguise ourselves to evade arrest. She cropped her hair. I dyed mine from black to red, hoping to escape recognition. Weeks of evasion led me back to a familiar place. The home I shared with Derek. Heart-pounding, I approached, only to find a for sale sign stabbing through the lawn, its bold letters a cruel dismissal of my return. The shock was profound. Derek had either moved on or believed the lies. My past life was officially erased, leaving me to face an uncertain future with only Tessa by my side.
Can I help you two?
Do you know a man named Derek? He used to live here.
Derek. Ah, yes. He lived here with a fiancé a few years back. Him and his fiancé were really outspoken about the Supreme Ruler. Last I heard, she got shipped off to the island, and he followed behind her.
What?
Yeah. Sorry I couldn't be of help. I hope the Supreme Ruler blesses you with a great day.
Tessa grabbed my hand as I started to sob. She led me back to the rental car we managed to purchase with our fake IDs. That's when the real reality set in. He's gone, Tess. He's gone. He's gone. He won't make it on the island.
Oh, shh, I know. Come here. It's okay.
We can't go back. We don't even know where back is.
It's going to be okay. We'll figure it out.
They can't keep getting away with what they're doing. It's just so messed up and wrong.
Then we won't let them. We'll find a way to fight back, Shay. For Derek, for us, and for everyone else who suffered under this regime, and those we left behind on the island.
Tessa held me until my sobs subsided. And then, she put the car into drive, and we drove away from the neighborhood that once felt like home. Now it's just a bitter memory. The fight wasn't over.
the battlefield had merely shifted. As the car rolled forward, a quiet resolve settled within me. The Supreme Ruler would get his due. One day.